It's Capital Xtra. You've got Yinka with you, and I am joined by Tinashe. Can everyone make some noise, please?
Yeah.
Yes. So this isn't your first time in the UK.
It isn't.
Welcome, though, back, should I say.
Thanks, yeah.
What has brought you to these shores?
Just here to do some press, some promo. You know, I wanted to come back, and I have a show coming up like in 1 month. So,
Ooh.
yeah, I wanted to come show, you know,
Show a little
UK
face.
friends some love. Yeah.
Give me some details on the show that's coming up.
It's at Coco on June 29th.
That's an amazing venue.
Thank you. So definitely come.
Yeah, obviously.
Please get your
I'm
tickets.
looking at Mr. Sony over there.
The tickets are available on Friday. So
Okay,
maybe they can hook you up, but everyone else, go buy them.
Okay, are you excited?
I'm so excited.
It's been a while since
It's been
performed.
a couple years since I've done a show in the UK. So
Yeah, so, and also you have got like quite a lot of music to kind of showcase as
definitely.
well. So yeah, I'm really excited. I didn't know that you had a show coming up. So
now you know.
I'm super excited.
29th.
June 29th. All right, so let's talk about this GQ cover that you did with Travis Scott, right?
Yeah.
I think, you look so sassy.
Oh, thank you.
By the way, like you always look hot anyway, but you look so sassy.
Yeah.
Are you actually like giving a little grab?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Was it a little bit awkward? Like,
No,
hey.
I know. I've known Travis for years.
Oh.
So it wasn't that.
Okay, I thought.
I mean, maybe it was for him. I'm sure it was for him because I don't think he was expecting it. But yeah, it was fine. It was chill. The whole shoot was really chill.
Okay.
Fun. Like we had like all sorts of like weird props, like oversized chairs and like pieces of bacon and like giant squirt guns, like really weird things. So it was a fun shoot. Yeah.
And
I thought it was funny how everyone like thought it was like so scandalous.
I didn't think that's the thing. I didn't think it was scandalous.
I still don't think it's scandalous.
No, it's
but-
fun.
And it's like a power play, like a girl to be able to just like grab a guy like, hey.
Instead of like the girl
other way
always
around.
being exactly.
Right.
Do you reckon that anyone would have had as much to say if
He'd
he
been
was giving you a
grabbing my
cheeky grab?
Booty or something?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. They would have just been like, oh, there go guys being guys. Yeah, I don't know.
But that's the thing with like your music videos as well. For me personally, I find that it's not all about women empowerment, but you definitely embody that.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't think that necessarily women empowerment necessarily means that you're like always 100% confident, but at the same time, you still have, you know, you're not going to just like bend to like these stereotypes or, you know, preconceived notions of like what femininity is or like what being a woman is. And I think those are like important messages to get across. Or even if, you know, in music, if you can write songs about being hurt and hurting and going through things, but at the end of the day, like you're always going to be a survivor. You're not going to be destroyed by anything. So that's always kind of like an underlying message, you know?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't mean that you're weak, but in any way.
Exactly.
Is it something that you sort of try to live in everyday life?
Yeah, I mean, I think that's important, especially as a young woman in the music business or in any business. You have to, you know, have such a strong sense of self, and you have to work, you know, really hard at just gaining respect, because it's so easy for people to, you know, want to take it away from you as a woman. And yes, you know, it's important to have those kind of, I guess, ideas of yourself.
And in terms of like, because I think, for me, as an artist, you are somebody who has potentially sort of remained the most consistent in like your message and also your vibe and your type of music.
Thank you.
Is that something that you've actively done?
Well, I think I just try to live by everything that I do. You know, I think people can tell when it's not coming from a genuine place.
Yeah.
So everything from, you know, my music videos to my music to the lyrics that I'm saying to all the content I release, I really just try to embody like whatever I feel at the time, you know, and just stay true to being a young woman who's, you know, growing, changing, evolving, learning new things. And, you know, that's just part of being a human.
And do you find yourself, do you have to say no to anything because like, have you ever thought, oh, I wish I could have done that, but it's not like me?
Yeah, I mean, there's like certain things like where maybe they want a particular compromise for like different types of like shoots, different if you work with different producers, for example, sometimes, you know, trying to just find a dynamic where you can work with someone, but you both have, you know, a creative opinion. Like those things, you know, there's sometimes where you feel like it's more you than others, but that's, you know, just a part of the creative process. And I kind of enjoy, you know, the challenge of working with new people anyway. So it's fun.
And I want to talk to you a little bit about your music videos. Like I said a little while ago, I think they're always so sick.
Thank you.
And that sort of taking it back a little bit to the All Hands on Deck one.
Yeah.
And you've got...
It's my favorite one I've done.
That video is just... I was watching it earlier today, actually, and it's one of those things where... Are you all in the containers?
Yeah, we were.
Is that real?
Yeah, we went up in a cherry picker,
Goodness me.
hundreds of feet in the air. It was really actually pretty scary, but awesome. It was worth it for the video because it came out just so crazy.
It looks so
Thank
good.
you.
Well, how could you dance being like all shaky? Like?
Yeah, I don't know. I guess, I thrive under pressure. So sometimes when things are like the most scary or like the most intense, I can like rally some like thing inside of me that's like rah. So yeah.
Okay. And when I put it up on Twitter and like socials and stuff that I was going to be interviewing you today, and I got so many questions back. I want to read some of them to you a little bit later.
Okay.
But one of them's quite relevant now, right? It is from someone called Sunny on Twitter.
Hey.
And hello, Sunny. And she wants to know, are you a professional dancer?
I am. I started, I training in ballet and jazz when I was 4.
Wow.
And I continued to take classes and compete and dance until I was about like 17. So yeah, definitely been trained. Yeah.
Okay. And I've got like a bit of a personal one to ask you, because like I said, I think you're mad sassy.
Thank you.
And I feel like I've got rhythm, but I lack the confidence when it comes to dancing.
That's like half of the battle right there.
Yeah, it's just, I just get a little bit, when you're in the club, and it could be like any song playing, but
you start feeling self-conscious.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't know what to do with my hands sometimes. So I'm gonna set the scene for you now, right?
Okay.
Imagine that we're in the club, right? I'm sitting down, because I'm a little bit nervous, Do you have any tips for me that I can do? But the thing is, I've actually got a little cheeky tune, so you can, if you put your headphones on, if you've got some there's some headphones there.
Here they are.
Ta-da! And then, so I'm gonna press play on this song.
Okay.
And then you can sort of
demonstrate.
Are you ready?
Yeah. All right.
It's a vibe. Even now I'm scared.
No, okay, so you got your drink, right?
Yeah.
Even if it's not alcoholic, just fill your cup up with like water.
Juice.
Just hold something, okay?
All right.
You want to just...
I can't do it. I'm so scared. They're watching me.
Just feel it. It doesn't matter if they're watching you. You're just feeling the vibe, and then you just, the little drunk girl dances. You're just
do you know what?
Your eyes and just get in your zone.
Tin. Can I call you Tin?
Sure.
I can't do it. She's like, no, you can't.
Just get wasted, girl.
I think that might be the vibe.
Or wear sunglasses in the club.
Ooh.
Why not?
That's actually, that could be a thing. That could be a thing.
Good idea, right?
So you released Flame a little while ago.
Yeah.
The video for that is amazing.
Thank you so much.
By the way, can you talk us through the story of that, because it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I mean, well, in the video, I kind of wanted to set a couple scenes. Initially, when you're in the rosy part of a relationship and
honeymoon
everything.
period.
Yeah, and everything is just so cute, from like waking up in the morning together to like brushing your teeth, to, like taking a nap, like all the little things that when a relationship starts, you're like, oh my gosh, this is so amazing. I wanted to like highlight on kind of those feelings and the duality between the happiness and the darkness, or like the fire and the water, or, just the different ends of the spectrum of a relationship. And not necessarily like why it went wrong, but when they do go wrong, how that, that dynamic changes, and the distance and remorse, looking at old photos, thinking about like when things were good.
Yeah.
And kind of questioning yourself, like, is this my fault? What happened?
Yeah, like, how can I go back?
Right. Do we have hope?
Yeah.
And all those questions. And then at the end of the video, I just burned down the house symbolically, just kind of to just leave those things behind and like really just kind of detach from, I guess, the negativity or like the pain that's associated with a relationship gone bad. So yeah, it's pretty deep if you really think about it. But yeah, it's a fun video to shoot.
Yeah, it looks pretty epic.
Thanks.
It does. It is pretty cool. Is this prelude to like an album? You're so unpredictable.
Yeah.
It's so like, I don't know, like, is it coming? I don't know, like, you keep us on our toes.
Coming. Yeah, I mean, I'm always working on new things as well, and my creation and my process is also always changing, so I don't even ever really know what's going to happen next. I surprise myself all the time, but as of right now, I'm still just trying to create the best music I've done majority of the album Joyride, and I'm hoping to get that out this year. And in the meantime, just keep putting out and making just the best songs I can make.
It has to be organic as well, doesn't it? Because I guess it would be easy for you to jump in the studio tomorrow, record 70 songs, and just pick 15.
Of course. I mean, you can do that, but when a song, you know, when you've sat with a project for a while and you really get to like live with it and see which songs still mean something to you after like a month or 2 months, or, you know, those are really the ones that you want to go with because they're more timeless, you know, and they're not just like of the moment or like super trendy. So I try to go for timeless classics.
I think that is it quite difficult to let something go? What if you? Cause it's almost like your baby, isn't it? If you care about the music that much and you're sort of like listening to it over and over again,
there is kind of a. You know, it's kind of like, I feel like when your parents like send their kid off to kindergarten, like they're excited, they're proud, but they're like a little sad because, you know, you're releasing your baby out into the world, and the big bad world. And you know that it's never going to be the same again. They're never going to be that like little baby that never knew another bad, whatever. So it's like, that's kind of how I think of my music. Like there is part of me that just like, you know, it's easier almost to just keep it to yourself, because then you can just live it and love it and listen to it. And by the time you put it out, everyone's judging it and everyone's, you know, has their own opinion. But at the same time, that's an amazing feeling also, just to get it off your chest. So there's, you know, plus sides and minuses to releasing a project.
And I guess like with the way that music is kind of like, it's everywhere nowadays, you know, new songs are released every day. It must be like, people don't necessarily understand how much of a like, you know,
a commitment.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it does, there is so much content that they almost seem, like disposable. But when you really put your heart and your soul and poured yourself into a project, to think of it as something that someone can consume in like a week or like a month is like disappointing. But it just kind of is, I guess that's just the time we live in, the era.
I guess so. And you recently collaborated with Tiny Temper on his new album Youth, Text from Your Ex, which is like super catchy as well.
Yeah,
he came into the studio a little while ago and we were talking about, you know, that moment when you send that text and you're like,
you're like, here I go, I did it.
Would you class yourself as like a jealous sort of girlfriend? If someone gets a text or something, are you like, oh, who's that?
I mean, it depends on who's texting them. I don't think in general I'm jealous, but if you do something to like make me jealous, I can get jealous. I'm not like unreasonable.
Yeah.
But I don't think I'm like, I don't think I'm a jealous person in general.
And a lot of people on Twitter wanted to know, are you thinking of making music with anyone else from the UK?
Sure, I would love to. I mean, I think it's really fun to collaborate with UK artists because I can kind of do stuff that's a little more outside of my comfort zone, like the KDA track that I did called Just Say, or the Text from Your Ex. Like that is a sound that I probably wouldn't have done on my own, and I would love to work with more. The more, the better. Why not?
Are collaborations something that you seek to do as an artist?
I really enjoy them because just as a creative person, I think it's fun to work with other creative people and like see what we can make. And I just really enjoy that process. So I'm always down for collabs with people that I like.
Yeah, we know of anyone.
Now
not
just
like your neighbor.
Joe Schmo off the street.
All right, so I did tell you before that I got a lot of questions from the socials.
Yeah.
I picked a few of the more interesting ones for you. So here are some. So Angie Cakes.
Angie
wants to know, when are you going to do a UK tour?
Ooh, I really, really hope to do one. I canceled some UK dates last year that I was supposed to do, and I really want to make some of them up. And I also want to go to more parts of the UK than just London. So hopefully, I would say probably in the fall, I can get back on the road. Yeah,
speaking of outside of London, Becca wrote Scotland, question mark.
I think I know who Becca is. That's Team Tinashe Scotland. Hey, girl. Hey. Yeah, I definitely have to make a visit there sometime so I can meet her.
And one of the questions that came up so much, but I think it's probably, super important. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's from someone called Franklin95, from Asha Richie, and from Thomas_Tank06.
Wow, okay.
Is why are you so sexy?
Oh, just gotta ask my mama and my daddy. I don't know. I don't know. Thank you.
Well, Tinashe, thank you for joining me on Capital Xtra.
Thanks for having me.
And you are going to be doing a London show?
Yes, June 29th. Get your tickets on Friday. I'm really excited. It's going to be a good show.
I can almost guarantee that it's going to be an amazing show.
Thanks.
Well, thank you, Tinashe, everybody.
Thanks, guys.